I finally got the cordless Dremel 8220 and I have been using it for a couple of weeks now and I absolutely love using it. So let's do a quick review of this tool. The Dremel 8220 is a versatile rotary tool and can be used for a wide range of tasks like sanding, engraving glass, wood carving, cutting metal, grinding metal, polishing, routing wood, drilling and so much more. The 8220 is a little bit larger than the Dremel 4000 because of the battery. It has a removable 12-volt battery at the back of the tool, and one battery and a charger is usually included when you buy the tool. To change bits, we use the shaft lock button in the front and turn the collet nut. This is the power button that turns on the tool. We change the RPMs of the tool with the speed control at the back. The RPMs of the tool ranges from 5000 to 35,000 RPM. This is the indicator that shows you how much battery you have left. At the back of the tool you will also find a metal arch. This is used for hanging up the Dremel when you want to use the flex shaft attachment. Most Dremel attachments will fit the 8220. They fasten onto the threads at the front of the tool. My 8220 came with a Worklight LM1 when I bought it. It also came with the easy twist nose cap that you can use instead of the wrench to loosen and tighten the collet nut. How powerful is the 8220 compared to the corded models, like for example the Dremel 4000? Let's test them out head to head. We are going to cut 10 screws with each of the tools. Both tools will be set to an RPM of 30,000 and we will use a fresh EC409 cutting disc. Let's start with the corded Dremel 4000. "43 seconds for the Dremel 4000. Now on to the 8220. And 31 seconds for the 8220. So a little bit faster. But I had more practice with cutting the screws since I did the 8220 last. Both tools felt about equal in power. Let's do another quick test. I will try to remove as much material from this piece of pine in 10 seconds with an aggressive cut saw burr. Let's see if we can notice any differences in the power this way. Let's start with the Dremel 4000. And then the 8220. Both tools removed about the same amount of material and felt just as powerful, with no significant decrease in RPMs. One of the most important questions is how long does the battery last? The battery life will vary a lot depending on the application. Surface engraving glass will require a lot less of the battery compared to, for example, wood carving with the flex shaft. So let's do another test. I'm going to start this wood carving with a fresh battery. And let's see how long I can work until the battery runs out. After about 10 minutes, the first battery bar was gone. After 20 minutes, we were down to the last bar. And after 25 minutes, the tool stopped running and the battery was completely empty. We can conclude that you can at least use the Dremel 8220 for 25 minutes straight when doing intensive work. And even longer if you're doing lighter work. And it got me this far in my wood carving in one sitting. On the Dremel website it says that it takes 1.5 hours to charge from empty to full. And that is about right. What are the main advantages of the 8220? The main advantage is that the tool is cordless and you don't have to be annoyed with this cable all the time. When you are routing with a corded Dremel, for example, you always have to worry about the length of the cable in relation to the socket and where you work. You also have to make sure that the cable does not rest anywhere close to the cutting action. The cordless 8220 makes doing jobs like these a lot simpler, especially when doing tasks like routing wood, cutting stuff or drilling with a workstation. You can also bring this tool outside where there are no sockets. So it can be really useful if you want to cut some nails in the woods, prune some branches, or straight up do some wood carving in the woods. The possibilities are endless, as long as the battery doesn't run out. The main disadvantage of the 8220 is the fact that you have to charge it. When the battery is charging, you won't be able to do any work with the tool, but the battery is removable. So you can get a spare battery to use when the other battery is charging. This usually costs about 40 bucks. You might have noticed that other tools also use similar 12-volt batteries to the 8220, like for example this cordless Bosch drill. The batteries for the Bosch will not fit into the back of the 8220 and vice versa. I think the batteries are technically the same and would work perfectly fine if the fittings would just be the same. I know there are some workarounds for this where you can change the fittings of the batteries, but I have not tried this myself. So for simplicity, you cannot use other 12-volt batteries from other tools in a Dremel 8220. The only problem I've had with the 8220 is that sometimes it does not turn on when I turn on the power button. But this rarely happens, and when it does, you just have to slide it back and forward once more and then it works. All in all, the Dremel 8220 is a great rotary tool, and I don't think anyone would be disappointed in obtaining this tool. It is a great addition to my workshop when I want to do some quick jobs and I don't want to deal with the cable. But for wood carving, which is the thing I use the Dremel for the most, I am still going to stick with a corded model like the Dremel 4000.